Today I have a special guest, John Rizvi, the patent professor, and we will be covering a question that many inventors have relating to patenting their ideas. How to make sure that they don't overlook the $1 million idea. John, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jason.
Let me start off with a question every inventor has. How do you make sure the $1 million idea doesn't slip you by?
Well, the important thing to keep in mind is that ideas come when they come. There's no perfect time for an idea. I've had inventors that have not taken action on an idea because the timing wasn't right. They may have been going through a divorce at the time, or perhaps they were a student in college and funding was tight. The important thing to focus on is not your particular life situation, but the focus should be on the idea. Is the idea something that's new? Is the idea something that's needed? Because it's not going to come, it's not going to always come at the perfect time.
Kind of like focus on the message and not the messenger.
Absolutely.
How else have you seen good ideas slip away?
Well, let's go back to high school for a minute and think of the situation where you have an extremely attractive girl and she may not have a date on prom night. And that's not because nobody wants to ask her. There's a dozen guys that are a couple dozen guys that are willing to ask, but everybody assumes that she's already with somebody or that somebody else has asked and she's taken. So nobody steps forward. And then on prom night, she shows up and everyone's surprised, like what's Jolene doing with Richie? But this is a phenomena that happens in the inventing world all the time. Inventors think of a concept and they're afraid to go forward because they think their idea is so simple, so intuitive, they simply cannot imagine the possibility that nobody else has come forward with it. Especially in a case where the inventor's from the outside, in a different industry. So, I mean, if you're not in the dental field and you have a dental concept, those inventors sometimes question themselves and say, how could I present an idea from the outside that the industry has not considered already? And I think that's a fatal mistake.
In other words, it sounds like you're saying that some inventors become their own worst enemies.
Absolutely. And the mistake that I think is made is that the inventors start focusing on themselves instead of the focus being on the idea. If there are questions that we have not addressed, I certainly welcome emails from your viewers. And they can email me at john@ideaattorneys.com, and I will get back to them with the answers.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more questions and answers with John.